Hi everyone, it's Monday, I'm back. I have a new video for you today and I'm pretty excited about this one. Might be a little bit longer actually. So today's video is a list of all the books that I planned to read in 2021 or probably should have read in 2021 that I just didn't for one reason or another, and here I am in 2022 just hoping and praying that I get through them, but some of them I probably won't. I'm gonna be upfront about that. But anyways, so this is a list of books that I planned to read in 2021 that I might read in 2022, but I'm not going to make any promises because some of these books I've avoided for pretty good reasons. Alright, so the first book, and actually I bought a paper copy of this book, it's sitting on my shelf collecting dust, and that is The Song of Achilles by Madeline Miller. And the reason that I haven't read this book, despite my deep love of Greek mythology in books, is that I know that it has a tragic ending and I'm scared. You'll notice that that's a motif in this video. A lot of these books I haven't read simply because I am a coward and I'm scared. So that is why I haven't read this book yet. I think I'll try to read it this year, maybe like around the time that A Game of Retribution comes out, because then I'll be in like a Greek mood, you know? But we'll see. Honestly, don't hold me to it because I might not read it. So the next book is The Seven Husbands of Evelyn Hugo by Taylor Jenkins Reid. Now, the reason I haven't read this is because it seems very impactful and heart-wrenching, and to be honest, I have like the emotional range of a squirrel, and I fear that if I read that book, it will break me. That's why I stick to more like surface level romance books instead of like the deep actual romance books. I'm the same with TV. Like anything that impacts me too much that I'm like laying awake at night thinking about it, I don't want that in my life. So that's the reason I've been avoiding this book. Similarly, I have avoided every book written by Colleen Hoover. I know that this is like a super unpopular, not opinion, but like I am in the minority, and that is just because, again, it's like her books seem really impactful, that they make you like think and feel, and to be honest, the most conflict that I can handle in a romance book is like the 10 pages at the end before they like kiss and make up. That's like the most conflict I can handle, and Colleen Hoover seems like the kind of person that can just make you sit back and hurt. I just don't really want to feel that much. So again, same, I'm just scared. So there are two reasons why I've kind of been avoiding this next one, which is People We Meet on Vacation by Emily Henry. I'm gonna read it soon because she's releasing another book called Book Lovers, which I want to read. Not that they're like connected or anything, but I just, I like to kind of read them in sequential order. But this one, there are two reasons. The first is that I know that this is like a friends to not friends to friends to lovers kind of story, like a second chance friends kind of thing, and I'm generally not really into that. Like that whole trope just doesn't really do it for me a lot of the time, though I'm sure that she did it masterfully and I'm still gonna read it. I've just been hesitant. But that brings me to my second reason that I haven't read it yet, which is that it seems like a really nice summer read, and by the time I kind of found out that I wanted to read it, summer had passed, and I was actually kind of already in my spooky season mood where I was reading a lot more like dark romance, so I kind of missed the boat on that one. But I do plan to read it, I don't know, maybe in like March when it starts to be kind of spring-ish weather, like maybe I'll kind of crack it open then. So the next books, plural, are a series. It's the Brown Sisters series. So the books are Get a Life, Chloe Brown, Take a Hint, Danny Brown, and Act Your Age, Eve Brown by Talia Hibbert. So these ones, there isn't really a specific reason I haven't read them yet. I just kind of they've been on my TBR for a little bit, but I just really haven't gotten around to it. And honestly, I only really found out about them like pretty recently on Instagram, actually. So I actually placed an order at Chapters. I ordered all 3 books in paper copy form, and I'm waiting for them to arrive because they were supposed to be available for curbside pickup the same day that I ordered them, and somehow they've been delayed between everything going on in the world. So I haven't gotten them in paper form yet, but I do plan to read those, and the books are on their way. So I'm actually really looking forward to reading those ones. The next one is One Last Stop by Casey McQuiston, and honestly, I just forgot about this one. Like, I read Red, White, and Royal Blue, which was amazing. Highly recommend. Chef's kiss. I would read that again in a heartbeat. And I do have a paper copy in my romance library, which is like only for the best of the best. And yeah, so I really enjoyed Red, White, and Royal Blue, and I really do plan to read this one. I honestly just kind of forgot about it, but I do plan to read it. I am looking forward to it. And honestly, I kind of vibe with Casey's tone that she develops in these books. So yeah, that is on my TBR, and not just my fake TBR where I'm like fooling myself, but like my real TBR that I'm actually gonna read. Okay, the next one, you guys are gonna judge me, but I swear it was all circumstantial. The next one is It Happened Last Summer by Tessa Bailey, and I know what you're thinking, because I love Tessa Bailey, and you're all disappointed in me, and the reality is, it was a bad circumstance, okay? I started reading it. I was like 2 chapters in, and let me tell you, school just really picked up last semester when I started it, and I had to put it down, and then I just never picked it back up. And to be honest, after reading the first 2 chapters, I know that this is the point of the story, so don't come at me, okay? But the first 2 chapters of the story, obviously that main character, I forget her name, she's really unlikable. That's kind of the point of the story, so I didn't feel super motivated to pick it up again and start over. So that's part of the reason why I haven't actually read it, though I plan to read it now. That's actually one that I also plan to read because I know Hook, Line, and Sinker is coming out soon, and actually that should have been on my 2022 anticipated reads because I do plan to read It Happened Last Summer and then Hook, Line, and Sinker because those are like a series, right? They're like the 2 sisters. So yes, I do plan on reading this one. Yes, I'm ashamed that I haven't finished it, and honestly, please don't come at me for this because I know that it's like an unpopular whole thing. It's like one of the most popular books right now on TikTok and etc. So anyways, but I do plan to read that one. Okay, I did plan to read these next 2. I planned to read them in October and I never got around to it because of like midterms and everything, but that's Kingdom of the Cursed and Kingdom of the Wicked by Kerri, what's her last name? Kerri Maniscalco. I'm sorry if I butchered that. I did plan to read these because like I got the vibe that they were like great for almost like fall spooky season kind of reading, and I was super looking forward to it, but again, I barely read in October because I was so swamped, and so I never got around to it, so I've been saving them up. They are on my TBR and I plan to read them in October of this year, and I'm really looking forward to it because I've heard really great things about them, so I do plan to read those ones as well. Okay, this next one is another one that you guys are gonna judge me super hard, but that's Six of Crows and Crooked Kingdom, and actually also King of Scars and Rule of Wolves by Leigh Bardugo. Okay, so here's the thing. I read the Shadow and Bone series last year and I enjoyed it, but like I kind of fell out of my fantasy mood. I was more leaning romance, and I understand that Six of Crows has like a romance throughout the story, but I just haven't felt the urge to pick it up again to get back into like the Grisha verse. So yeah, I haven't read that one. I know it's like highly recommended by everyone who reads it. I will read it eventually when I get back into like fantasy and stuff, which might be in like the fall season. But for now, I'm just kind of reading like lighthearted romance, so it doesn't really fit in with my vibe at the moment. But I did enjoy Shadow and Bone. It's just like, meh. Also, I kind of already know some of the storyline, and I know some of the characters, given that I watched the Shadow and Bone series on Netflix as well. So I'm not like super blind to what happened in the book, but yeah, that's another one that I'm like, oh, don't judge me. Okay, the last one is another like fantasy book, and that's House of Earth and Blood by Sarah J. Maas. And the reason why I didn't read that yet, despite being very intrigued by the storyline and also loving Sarah J. Maas, is that, again, not really in the fantasy mood, but also the series is not complete. And let me tell you something. I don't love reading books when the series isn't complete yet because I hate cliffhangers. And I already kind of like screwed myself with the Blood and Ash series, which I've been waiting not so patiently for the next book to come out. So anyways, I just didn't even bother to pick that one up, knowing that I'd be sitting on the edge of my seat waiting for the next book to come out. I do know that she's about to release the next one, but I'm not sure if that's where it ends and if it's a duology or if there's more coming out after that. So I'm kind of leaning towards waiting until like the full series is complete and I can just binge it, because that seems like the kind of series that I would just sit down and read in like a weekend. So that's the last book for today. If you like this video, I hope that you like it. I hope you comment and subscribe to my channel because I'm here every Monday and I like to talk about books and also sometimes my dog because she's very cute. So if you're interested in that, you should come back next Monday. All right. Bye, everyone.